All right, this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to start drawing the frame of your car. So ideally, you want to have AutoCAD open. You want to have all the settings already set. If you don't remember that, please watch the video of how to set the settings in AutoCAD. I'm going to actually snap this to a half screen because I also want to show you what I'm drawing. So you'll see on the left-hand side, I have a picture of my CO2 car that I'm drawing. And you already see that I kind of laid out all the dimensions that I need in order to draw my drawing. Right? I recommend that you do this. It doesn't have to be as neat as what I did over here, but you probably want to draw out the dimensions so this makes it a little bit easier. You could also measure as you go. If you have a ruler with you, you can measure off your drawing and measure as you go. But I really think this is a lot faster if you already have them already drawn out. So I'm going to start out by drawing the frame of my car, and I'm going to show you some of the tools that we're going to be using in AutoCAD to draw our frame. So if you just kind of follow along, I'll explain how you use these tools to draw the frame of the car, and basically taking this picture here and putting it in AutoCAD, and it's going to clean it up. So the reason why we're doing this in AutoCAD, I understand that Model Smart has made a nice drawing for us here, but it doesn't really clean it up. It doesn't actually look like it is when it is finally assembled. So we're going to make a cleaned up drawing in AutoCAD that really represents what your car looks like when it was fully assembled. So we're going to start out by using the line tool. And you'll notice that down at the bottom here I have 9 5/8. So I'm going to start off with the bottom line because it's always the easiest place to start. So I'm going to start out with a line. You can click the line tool and click anywhere in the white space and start drawing a line. All right, and you'll see that's locked on 0 degrees. Now if I type in 9.625, which is equivalent to 9 5/8, and hit enter, it's going to draw a 9 5/8 line. So I'm going to hit escape. When I hit escape, it takes me out of the tool. So if you click on a tool, it takes you in. Hit escape. Escape takes you out. So when I zoom in, that's a 9 5/8 line. So there's the bottom line of my car. Okay. Now I'm just going to go around. I'm going to just continue to make the frame, the perimeter of the frame, and then I'll fill in the rest of the detail as I go. So the front of my car is 2 1/8. So I'm going to click on the line tool. You'll notice that with object snaps turned on, I lock on this endpoint. I'm going to go vertically 2.125 and hit enter. So there's the front of my car. Now over here you'll see it's 4 inches. So I'm going to come back 4. You'll notice that it wants to continue to keep drawing lines, and I'm going to let it do that. So I'm going to hit 4 horizontally and hit enter. All right, now I don't really know the angle of this. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to get out of my line tool. I don't know the angle of this, so I'm going to have to do some work up top here to find that angle. So I'm going to actually start working from the back now, working on the back of the car, and then I'll work and create this structure based off of the dimensions I have available to me. So click the line tool. I'm going to go up. The back is 1 3/4, so 1.75, and then it comes in 2 inches. Right? Now at this point, this is where I can use my offset tool. Okay, I can use my offset tool. So if you're not aware of the offset tool, I'm going to teach it to you. It's this little squiggly line here. The way this tool works is if you click on the button and open it up, you will notice that if you look near my cursor right now, where I have my cursor in the white screen, it says specify offset distance. So it wants to know how far I want to offset. So the first thing you do is after you click the button, you type in the distance. Well, since my car is 4 inches tall, I'm going to type 4 and hit enter. Now it says select object. Well, I'm going to click my baseline, and I'm going to go vertically by 4 inches. So now I have the bottom of my car, and technically this is the top of my car. Obviously this line is too long. I'm going to have to trim it and clean it up in a bit. But right now it gave me the bottom and the top of my car. Okay? So now I want to also find this point. So I'm actually looking for this point right here. So I know that it's 4 inches up and it's 2.5 inches in. So what I can do is I can draw a line here, and then I'm going to offset this line 2.5 inches in. So offset 2.5, enter, and I can offset in. So right now that intersection there is this point right here, which is really helpful because now all I got to do is use the line tool. I can click on this endpoint and click to that point there, and now I have just created this line right here. And this is going to start to be the top of my car. Now, since this line doesn't exist, I just use it to help find that point. I can click on it and hit the delete key, and it'll delete. I can also trim these lines. So trim tool. So looking up here, I have trim. If I click on the trim tool, hit the space bar one time, all right, and then you can trim a line. Now you notice this one won't trim. The reason why it won't trim is because it goes from here to here. There's nothing to trim. It's not intersecting anything. So I'm going to hit escape and click on it and delete. So if it won't trim using the trim tool, just delete it manually. That's the easiest thing I could tell you. All right. Now I know that this line, this top of my car is only 2 inches. So I'm going to use the offset tool and go to enter and offset over. Oops. You know what? I shouldn't have deleted this one line. I'm going to put it back. So I'm going to put this line back. Okay. I'm going to offset 2 inches and go over. And this is going to be the top of my car. All right. So now I can trim again. So trim, hit the space bar. So here's the top of my car. Okay. And I'm going to delete the lines, the unnecessary lines I don't need. So just delete them. I can close this off. So here's the perimeter of my car. Okay. Now I notice that there's a piece that goes diagonally across my crumple zone. So I can connect a line from there to there. All right. I'm going to just keep starting to fill in the inside now. I can also see that there is a line that goes essentially straight down. Okay. That's this piece right here. Okay. And I'm going to draw one here going straight down as well because that goes right there. All right, you're starting to see a little bit of the structure now. So there's my perimeter, the general perimeter. Now notice I didn't put the diagonals yet in, and that's okay. The diagonals I'm going to have to show you. It's a little bit of a special operation. So the rest of this is simply using the offset tool. So we're going to offset, and we're going to go offset in 3 by 3/16 because that's the size of the wood that we're using. So offset, and I can actually do 3//16 and hit enter. And it'll offset by 3/16 of an inch. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go in. Okay, so all the perimeters are going to be in. Okay. And you'll start to see the structure come alive right in front of your eyes. So it's really starting to look like this now, just simply using the offset tool. So all I did was click offset. I typed 3/16, enter, and I started offsetting the lines in. Now I can put the diagonals in. The diagonals go from corner to corner. So I'll draw a line like that, a line like that. This is the easiest way to do diagonals. All right, now they're going to intersect right there. Now I'm going to offset by 1/2 the thickness. So offset by 3/32, not 3/16, 3/32. It's 1/2 the thickness. And hit enter. I'm going to go half the thickness in each direction. That should make sense to you. Okay, so now this is 3/16 of an inch wide. I basically have all my pieces over here. It just needs to be cleaned up. There's a lot of intersecting pieces here that I need to clean up. So this is all going to be basically using the delete key and the trim tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete my unnecessary lines. I know that this center line is not necessary, so I'm going to delete it. All right. That was just used to create the diagonals. And then I'm going to start using the trim tool quite extensively for my drawing. All right, so trim, hit the space bar one time, all right? And if it shows a red X, it can be trimmed. So I'm going to trim all the ones that allow me to have the red X. Now, a little helpful hint, always work from the outside in. So if you have multiple lines, so for example, this here, I want to click this first. If I click this, I'm going to have to delete this later. So click this first. I'm working from the outside in, okay? Outside in. Right now it's really starting to look like something that I would have glued up. Those look like pieces that I would have glued up. Okay, so I'm going to again work from the outside in, and I'm going to eliminate all these extra extension lines I do not need. Outside in. Okay, just clicking all these extension lines that I do not need. All right, there's nothing down here in the bottom, so I'll delete all those. If I draw a little green box, everything inside the green box will get trimmed. All right, so basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to trim up all of the intersections, and I'm going to show you how to put dimensions in the next video.